My full names are Mika Ole Kaleku, a pioneer student at the Koyaki Guiding School. That was when the school was started, before it expanded to what we call now the Maasai Mara Wildlife School. Because after the schooling, it was basically more of a practical part of the thing that I was doing, the theoretical part of what I'm doing now in the school. And then when I got to Kicheche, then I had to restart it and in a practical way. I was introduced into a bit of placements in a few camps when I was still in school, but then you basically just cannot come from the school and get yourself to the level of other guides. And then so it's a gradual process. And since then, I've grown from what I call a trainee guide to a junior guide, from my bronze level, silver level. I'm working towards my gold level now. And being in that perspective, I am probably one of the most senior guides in the company and a head guide at this particular camp. The Wildlife College has prepared me in different ways. The key ones are obviously that it is introduced me to a different understanding of Mother Nature, being exactly a son of a pastoralist just within Nabosho Conservancy, was born and raised in Second Ani, literally just at the edge of the Maasai Mara National Reserve. Wildlife was part and parcel of my life, literally from a kid, running up and down, catching birds and doing all this stuff. But then the Koyeki Guiding School and the Wildlife Colleges introduced me into a bigger understanding in a biological way and exactly the interrelationship between the wildlife, the landscapes, the Maasai, the people, and what we're doing now. So basically, I am able to translate the natural habitats. And basically, I would say a teacher, even to teachers. Because what I do basically, I meet people of different careers and different levels. You can imagine being meeting professors across the world that have studied this into a deeper role, but I'm still able to give them exactly even a deeper understanding of myself, having grown in this area to where I am now. When we started, basically, this was even never a conservancy, and it is exactly through the Wildlife College that we were able to get Nabosho as a conservancy. And the challenges that this has prepared me exactly to face are like, if you look entirely at the relationship between the community and wildlife before, wildlife was just viewed as just animals out there. And I think from then, the community just came to realize, oh, we were exactly born to protect these guys. And here we are now. We're sitting in front of such a beautiful valley full of wildlife, probably one of the highest concentration of animals that we've got now as a result of that. And I'm able now most of the time to convince the community that this is the way to go.
So guys, you study all of you in
Is being an ambassador out there is one bigger key thing, and I think that is a direct support, because on and off, I've got guests that think, "Where did you study?"
Yeah.
It's like a bigger question, and on and off, it take a bit of time to convince them that I've just studied locally, because it's like, oh, you must have been in one of the top universities of the world. But if I say this is just where I've studied, so on and off, I've had exactly a few of my guests interested in the college, and some of them even sponsoring students, giving books to the college, and so that is one bigger key, area that I've supported the school. And in quite a lot of instances, and I think if I date back to literally just after my completion, being a pioneer student, I've been able to interact with the school, giving talks to students, being out with them. I've been a role model to majority of the young guides that are in placement with us, and I'm just probably what I would say. I'm proud that I've been able to nurture probably more than 20 guides. The Wildlife College, because I think I will go back to it, is its inception. And if you look at it, and I'll even go back to when I was growing, literally, even though there were quite a few camps and lodges around, there was basically no evidence of the local people involvement by employment and just even just involvement in other different ways. And the Wildlife College has just exactly introduced the first breed of Maasai guides, which I'm part and parcel of that. And, we were the first one to hit that field, and we just changed the whole concept. The competition level was just to the sky. It's like, this is exactly the breed of guys we need. And since then, over the years, we've probably had quite a few hundreds of young guides that are there. If you look exactly like within our premises ourselves, we've got some of us that are waiters, some of us that are room attendants, and I think that is just a massive introduction of people or graduates from the Wildlife College into exactly the industry. So that has employed the local camps, the local lodges, the conservancies have employed the mass population of graduates from the college. And I think there before, you'll get into one of the lodges, one of the camps in the area, and none of the Maasais or the local people were employed there. So this college has exactly changed the dimension completely. What I will say, what sets it is just so, because I think I'll say it's just so unique in its exactly way, being exactly one probably of the remotest individual institution that exactly gave wildlife inborn within an area like this. And if you look at it, I think there is no other wildlife college that was ever introduced in the country, because if you look exactly, this is the first, when it was introduced first as guiding school, that was the first guiding school in the country. Other colleges like the Kenya Wildlife Service College in Naivasha was giving a little bit of that, but it wasn't exactly a proper instituted way. So I think that is how the Wildlife College has come up to be. And I think you're not even just learning a theoretical part of the studies in a class, and then probably if you have to get to a field, you board probably a bus and a Land Cruiser from, let's say, for example, Nairobi to the Mara, Amboseli, Samburu, and all that. You're literally there. You're learning through what we call raw nature. That is exactly how amazing that has been. I really want this institution to enlarge exactly to broaden the wildlife conservation and exactly to spread it across the whole country, because I think this was like a trial thing to start with. And I think we've seen exactly the fruit of it, the advantages of it, and exactly it's taking conservation to the highest level. And perhaps an introduction of probably online programs so that a lot of people that are doing other stuff can also get this, because that means we're getting more brains, we're getting more people into conservation, and that is the way to go.